Hey guys, my name is Lexi Porto and I feel so blessed and honored, excited having you here. Before we dive into the real good stuff, I wanted to share a little backstory about me and why I'm so passionate about helping you. If you asked me about 7 years ago whether one day I will be here sharing my story with you about how I changed my body and how I transformed my life, I would have definitely not believed you. The reason I'm here is simple. I want you to believe that the change is possible. Look, I'm just your average girl, I'm no different from you. I'm not born with superior genes, I'm not a Victoria's Secret model, I hate diets, and I'm just a big foodie loving pizza and ice cream. Yep, that's me. I don't have endless hours to work out in the gym, and I'm not a gourmet chef to spend hours and hours in the kitchen cooking. I'm actually just a busy, always on the go girl, very short, 5'3" tall, who, to be very fair, had not had the best luck with her genetics. As a matter of fact, when I was a kid, I was always called in my family like the little chubby one or the cute hamster face. I'm not the type of person either who would just put herself into the spotlight and enjoys being there. I'm not the, yeah, let's talk into the camera kind of girl. I'm actually super duper nervous about talking into the camera, even if you can't tell. And one thing probably you can tell, that my first language is not English, and actually that freaks me out talking to hundreds and thousands of women here. But I just feel I have a moral obligation to share my story with you and tell you that living a fulfilling, happy and fit and healthy life is not only possible, but it's within your reach. If my story helps one person, only one person, then it was totally worth it. So are you okay if I share my story with you? Well, it all started just about 11 years ago when long hours at work, stress, sedentary lifestyle and late night dinners started taking a toll on me. After I just freshly got married, I started a new job, I started studying something new, and I moved from a city to a little village, so my life just felt like it was completely turned upside down. I was homesick a lot of times, and I was just trying to find my way around of being a young wife, doing housework, work, studying, and just be there for my family and friends. I just felt I had so many things to do in a day that I just really didn't think that I have time to take care of myself. Unfortunately, I'm coming from a fairly dysfunctional family, so I never really learned how to deal with stress. So all the frustration I was facing right there and then was super overwhelming. The only way I knew how to deal with my emotions was movies and food. So I was trying to numb my emotions with food, but of course I never really dared to talk about it to anyone. There were nights when I would just sit in front of the TV and I ate whatever I could find in the kitchen or in the pantry. And once I finished a bag of chips or a bag of crisps or pretzels, I would just go out to the kitchen and try and find some more food. So it was never really enough. So I just binged, ate as much as I could to really just block my emotions out. When I felt happy or sad or stressed or anxious, I just ate. Yes, I was the girl who would come home after a long day, tired, completely knackered, and all I wanted was just sit on the couch with a bag of pretzels or with a tub of ice cream and knock myself out until it's too late and I would just go to sleep. Before I knew it, I became this sad, overweight, completely insecure girl who hated herself to bits, who carried around almost 40 pounds extra weight that didn't just weigh her down physically, but it weighed down her personality, feeling like she was carrying rocks on her shoulders. I just felt I was trapped in my own body. When I woke up in the morning, I looked into the mirror with disgust. I don't know, maybe at some point you felt the same way too. I was only in my early 20s when my health slowly started slipping out of my hands. I had constant chest pain, I felt tired, I had no energy and no mood to do anything. I started being seriously concerned about what was going on with my body, because in my family history there are several cardiac problems, several heart-related problems, like my father, like my grandmother, so I didn't want to end up like them. I still remember one day when I woke up in the morning with such tiredness, and I just felt that my chest was hurting so bad that I had to call sick, and I stayed in bed all day sleeping. During this time I had a cute, super sweet Labrador, and all I wanted was just to play around and jumping up and down, and I was so sad and miserable because I couldn't even take her for a walk because after 10 minutes I got so tired. Before I knew it, I became a very different person from who I was, and I became a little mean being, especially towards my husband. So here I was, a young wife with the most amazing man on her side, which is, by the way, the pure grace of God, because I had no idea how he stayed so faithful and loyal to me, even during those years when I was super duper mean. I was taking out all my frustration on him. So here I was supposed to be the happiest in my life, Yet I just felt miserable. I just felt I cannot keep going on with this life anymore. I felt like I was trapped. I felt like I'm just stuck in my life. When I looked into the mirror, I called myself names that I would never even tell to anybody else. I told myself fat, ugly, loser, disgusting. When on earth would you tell these things to another person? Never. Yet I called myself these names every single day. My bubbly person slowly started fading away, and I couldn't recognize myself anymore. I secretly had to fight with depression and anxiety and super low self-esteem. And you know what? Although I've never really been in the category of obese, but the way that I carried it around completely redone my personality. I have so many stories when I just felt so ashamed of myself, and you know, like, I feel now looking back at those times as, oh my gosh, why did I beat myself up so bad? And if I could just go back in the past and I could just help myself, I would do that. You know, when you put on weight and you kind of don't want to accept the fact that you are 2-3 dress sizes larger now, so you rather just wear baggy t-shirts everywhere and worn out, you know, hoodies and old jumpers just to make sure that you can hide and cover up, and you refuse to buy new clothes because you just kept telling yourself, one day I'm gonna lose the weight, you know, one day I'm gonna be fine and I don't have to wear all these old clothes. So you refuse to buy new ones. This is exactly where I was. I refused to buy new clothes to myself. This one Saturday, I remember my hubs wanted to do something good for me, and he was like, okay, come on babes, let's go out to do some shopping, let's buy some new clothes for you. And he didn't really get it why I didn't want to go, but eventually he insisted and I went with him. So we were walking in the mall and we were passing by a super cute shop. I could see in the window very nice jeans, the top, you know when the top is like popped into the jeans and it looks really, really good, and the mannequin, and I was like, oh my gosh, that looks amazing. And he also pointed out these clothes like, oh come on babe, try them on, they would look amazing on you. And you know, like, he was like genuinely just trying to help me, but he didn't really know how to. So I was like, okay, maybe I will just go for it. So sheepishly I walked into the store, grabbed my size, and went into the dressing room. And this is where the trouble really started. So you know how you go into the dressing room and you have the curtains around you, and you just, you know, close the curtains from every angle to make sure that no one can see you in an underwear, right? So I did that. I, you know, closed my curtains. I was like a bit nervous and excited to try these new clothes on, but really nervous because I really didn't know my size at this point. So I took off my skirt, I took off my top, and I was standing there in my underwear. And you know those places where they have the bright lights and mirrors from every angle, from the side, from the back kind of, and from the front as well, so you could just see yourself in bright light from every different angle. Yet I used to hate those places, and yet I was standing there in an underwear. I was completely exposed to the reality. I was looking at myself and looking at the tummy, looking at my thighs, I remember when I was looking at my bum, you know, when you look around and you see yourself and you're like, what on earth? I knew, okay, I knew, and I was clear about that I didn't like myself. I knew that I put on weight, but I never really faced reality like that, oh my freaking world, what on earth has happened to me, and when did this happen? Why no one told me this? And it was just such a reality punch in my face. Even my skin looked so sluggish. I was crushed. I didn't even feel worthy to try on these new clothes, to be very fair with you. Yet, yeah, I started putting on the jeans, and almost straight away I could see that no way, Jose, that I would squeeze in those pants. So I asked for a larger size and I tried to put them on again, and even the larger sizes were like squeeze. So I started sweating in my battle, right? I started sweating in my battle. I'm standing there in the bright light, kind of like the jeans are halfway on me and halfway stuck, and I'm trying to put on the top as well, and when I'm trying to put them on, I hear a crack. You know the sound of a crack when you feel like, oh my gosh, this was too tight and the sleeve just got ripped. I wish the earth would just swallow me down right there and then. Because here I was standing with the jeans hanging on me, halfway squeezed on my thigh, the top being ripped on me, and my hubs waiting outside in front of the dressing room asking if the size is good. I will never forget that moment because I felt so embarrassed and so defeated as a woman. I just felt like I don't deserve new clothes. Who am I kidding? I looked in the mirror, almost crying, and I just told myself, you're disgusting. You are fat. And I wish I did not say these words to myself, but this was my reality. You know that I turned down almost every single invitations that I got from my friends and from my family, because I just felt like no way on earth I would turn up there listening to their funny comments about how I put on weight, or their opinions, or how I should go on a diet. So I ended up spending almost all my evenings by myself. I remember this one time when we had this family invitation, and we got the invitation month before, and we have a huge family, so it's always fun to be around them. We always play, you know, like the board games and loads of laughter and fun and food, and people are just chatting, and you know, it's basically a very, very nice atmosphere. And yeah, my husband has 7 other siblings, so it's a huge family with loads of kids around, loads of fun around. So we were invited to this party, and I remember as the date was creeping up on me, I just felt more and more anxious about it. I just felt more and more like out of breath, even just thinking about it, that I need to show up there. And most of them I hadn't even seen for almost a year, so I'm sure that they would notice that actually I put on so much weight. So it was creeping up on me. I felt like, oh my gosh, no way, Jose, I can go, no way, Jose, I can go. But I didn't want to let down my husband either. And here I was, the day of the party, right? Getting ready in the morning. I was super anxious. I just felt like almost like a panic attack. I was like completely out of breath, sweating. My makeup didn't turn out the way I wanted. My hair didn't turn out the way I wanted. I was putting on these clothes, and obviously I didn't have anything proper to wear because I was not buying new clothes for myself for almost a year at that point, and my size had completely changed. So whatever I put on, you would see that my jiggles and my bulges were completely exposed. Like I cannot show up in these clothes, you know. That's what I felt. And by the time we needed to leave, very awkwardly, I walked up to my husband, looked into his eyes with these big puppy eyes, and then I was just telling him, honey, I'm so sorry, but I cannot go with you. And he was so confused. He saw all morning that I was preparing myself for the party, and he was so happy. He was like, finally I'm coming out with him. And here I was, turning down another invitation. I gave him the gift, and I told him, I'm sorry, honey, I'm not feeling well. And I just made up some kind of bullcrap excuse, which he knew obviously as well, that there was something deeper behind it. He tried to ask me about it, like, okay, so what's the real reason why you don't want to come? But I just didn't want to open up for him because I felt I didn't want to share what was going on in my soul, because I just felt like no one would understand. I just felt very stupidly, now thinking back, I just felt like I don't want to talk about how much I hate myself. I don't want to talk about how much I see that I'm not a beautiful woman, how much I feel disgusted about myself. I didn't want to talk about that. What? I know, I just didn't want to open up. So the best way I could keep myself safe was to distance myself from him. So looking back now, my marriage was obviously slowly falling apart because we were very far away from each other emotionally, and I wouldn't even want him to come close to me physically. So that means that our sexual life was, and I just kept rejecting him. To be very honest, I kept rejecting every single person around me. You know how you need to go out with your friends or with your family, and you need to like hide behind the table, crossing your arms, trying to hide your bulge, and you don't even take off your jacket or take off your coat. You don't want to stand up at a table and go out to the bathroom because you would know that people would look at you, or you think the people would look at you. So I tried to deal with that by turning down all the invitations, which was the craziest and dumbest thing I could do. I didn't ask help from any of my friends. I distanced myself from my family, from my friends. Yeah, I was kind of present, but not really. So I was down on this spiral of depression and anxiety, and I knew that I needed a change. My marriage was slowly falling apart because I couldn't really find who I was anymore. I just couldn't accept my husband's love, and I couldn't accept anybody else's love. So I kept everyone as far as I could possibly can. And I wish someone was there next to me telling me like, girl, don't do that. Don't push people away from yourself. Don't reject their love just because you can't love yourself. That's the worst thing that I could have done at that time. It was a really, really dark time for me, but when I hit the rock bottom, that was the worst. So I met this old classmate as I was just walking down on the street, with music in my ears, and I was just, in my own little zone, in my own little world, and I ran into her, and we hadn't seen each other for like a couple of years at that time, so she had no idea what I was going through. I tried to hide my embarrassment of how much weight I put on, so we quickly hugged, we had a little chit chat, and with an ear-to-ear smile, she congratulated me. For a split second I was like, what are you congratulating me on exactly? And she was like, you guys are expecting, aren't you? It was such an embarrassing and awkward moment for the both of us. She thought I was pregnant. Oh god, I will never forget that. And pretending I didn't get hurt or didn't get offended, I just quickly said goodbye and turned away, walked away, while obviously I was crying my eyes out. My self-esteem was completely destroyed. I felt like an absolute failure, and all what was going on shadowed down my life, my personality, it shadowed down my marriage, it shadowed down everything, it shadowed down every single relationship that I had, even shadowed down my work and my studies. I just felt like I lost myself and I was in a trap. How can I get out of this? I ask myself so often, how can I get out of this? What can I change? What can I do? I just really wish that I had a different mindset at that time. I was really beating myself up. Luckily, seriously, I have to say luckily, this point came in my life after meeting my old classmate and, you know, just having had enough, that I said, okay, enough is enough. I must take it all in under control. One night I was just praying and asking God for helping me, and that's when I made a decision that, you know what, I gotta make a change. I've gotta make a change here. I just felt like I cannot keep going the same way I did. I kept hiding myself, I kept hating myself. I couldn't keep going on like that. I wanted to have my confidence back. I wanted to be able to walk down on the beach in a bikini if I wanted to. I wanted to wear the clothes that I actually liked without having to hide my jiggles. I just wanted to be able to take out my dog and play with him. Going for a walk without, you know, being out of breath, walking up on the stairs without feeling like you're dying. I wanted to be actually in the photos without having to hide behind an object that would, you know, cover half of my body. And what I really wanted was just feeling like a beautiful woman, not feeling like a disappointment, not feeling like a failure, not feeling like someone who cannot take care of herself. And I just wanted to be healthy, so I wouldn't need to struggle with the same problem that my family struggled with. But if I look deep down, I just really wanted a happy marriage where we are both passionate about each other. I really just wanted a happy family, what I didn't have in my childhood. I wanted to become a role model for my future kids, so I would have the energy to play around with them. And last but not least, I really wanted to be able to love myself again and be proud of who I was, be proud of my life, not having to hide, but be present in every single moment. So I know that I wanted a change, I just had no idea where to start or how to do it, what to do. I had that mindset shift that yes, I want to make a change. No matter what it takes, I'm gonna change my life and I'm gonna change and I'm gonna take the control. I'm not gonna blame on people, I'm not gonna be the victim anymore, but I just decided that I wanted to make a change. End of the story. So I was on the mission of saving my life, I was now on the mission of saving my marriage, and I was now on the mission of losing the weight and gaining my confidence back. So a completely different kind of struggle began, because from this point on, I literally tried every single available thing that I could, starting from diets, workout programs, smoothies, detoxes, diet pills, laxatives, every single thing, you name it, I've probably done it. I've done the calorie counting, the macro counting, the South Beach diet, something very similar to Weight Watchers, Atkins diet, paleo, keto. Oh my gosh, I cannot even put it in a list because there were so many. Oh, I was so frustrated and oh my gosh, really, this is what it takes? This is really what it takes to actually get in shape? So it was a different kind of struggle. I could see that, oh my gosh, like I'm not sure it's really gonna work, but I just kept trying and failing and trying and failing. And of course I did the random YouTube videos, I did the occasional run that I hated from the bottom of my heart because running was not really my thing. So I just kept giving a try to the new things. At that time I couldn't really afford a personal trainer, so I was literally on my own. I remember when a couple of times I walked into the gym and I looked around and, you know, all these bulky men there, you know, lifting the weight, screaming and, you know, just popping up, and here we go, me on with my hoodie walking in the gym, and I had no clue how the machines work, I had no clue where to go, what to do, what to try. So I just did what most of the times we all do. I just stepped on a cardio machine, right? I just stepped on the treadmill, switched it on. Luckily I found the start button so I could switch it on, and I was just walking, then stepping out, a bit of running. But I was like, yeah, I can do running outside as well, so it didn't really make too much sense. So I tried the elliptical, tried all kinds of machines, but really I had no clue how to make them work, only the cardio machines, of course. So I was like really feeling like, this is not really my thing, going to the gym and just to get embarrassed and feel intimidated in front of all these men. So I gave it a fair try. I gave the gym a fair try though, but it just felt like a complete waste of time. So I was like, if I feel more like a failure, why should I go there? So this is how I thought about the gym, right? Just so crazy to even think about it, that now I'm going to the gym so often, and this is how I used to think about going to the gym. But the worst thing was that whenever I managed to lose some weight, it all came back. So I was like, this week I'm losing a few pounds, then next week is coming back. So I was like, what on earth is going on? So I really felt like instead of losing the weight, I was losing my sanity because I couldn't really keep up with all the diets. So I was again frustrated. And because of that, slowly but surely, I created an even unhealthier relationship with food. So I was either starving myself for a couple of days, or I binged for a couple of days. It was a really wicked cycle. I remember how many times I actually went into bed starving, and all I could think of was my breakfast. And next day when I woke up, I was already so hungry and so depleted and restricted that I just binged, and I was eating everything that I could see, every freaking thing that I could see. So, well, that wasn't the best type of diet, I have to say. So it's a really unhealthy relationship with food. I was either binging or starving, and I'm really not proud of it. But of course, after I binged, the first thing that came into my mind to gain control over my body again, and I found myself in the bathroom trying to talk myself out of throwing up. So many times I just opted in for laxatives, so I would just make myself flush everything out. This is something that I don't even know if I shared with anyone before, because I was really not proud of what I was doing. And looking back at that time, I honestly can say that this is the worst thing that someone can make. It's a horrible mistake. And I remember so vividly when I just kept asking myself that, what's wrong with me? Why am I so weak? Why I have no motivation? Why I have no willpower to actually stay consistent with my diet? Why am I not seeing the results that I'm seeing in the magazines, when I'm seeing on social media, the before afters, and I'm not seeing the same thing? I'm not getting the same results. I cannot lose 30 pounds in a week. What is wrong with me? What am I doing wrong, right? I am going crazy, asking myself all these questions and blaming it on myself. And I was just like brainstorming with myself. What should I cut out? Should I cut out the carbs? What food group should I cut out? And of course I had a hard time staying motivated because I just didn't see the results. So why would I stay motivated? It was a really vicious cycle of starting on Monday, failing on Wednesday, starting again on Monday, failing on Wednesday, and then in the meantime doing the binge eating, doing the emotional eating, starving myself, and just trying to find my balance amongst all those diets and random exercises. But what I did that later on actually led me out of this entire struggle trip is that I stayed up late so many times and I googled my questions. I put every single question into Google, and what I find, surprise, thousands of different answers to only one question. So you ask something and you have thousands and hundreds of questions you put in there. What's the best diet to lose weight fast? What's the best exercise to lose weight fast? And of course you get so many different answers, and I just couldn't really find my way amongst them all. So I knew that I didn't have the knowledge to keep it under control, but I also knew that I want to make a change. I also knew that I was desperate. I also knew that this was another kind of hell compared to not doing anything and being overweight. So these two types of hell and dark times are just really coming up on me. But now I was like so determined that I'm not gonna give up here. I'm gonna get out of this struggle. I really just genuinely wanted a solution, because there must be a solution, right? Because there are hundreds and thousands of other girls who have changed their body. So I knew there must be a solution. So I was on my way to figure it out. One evening I was just like, alright, I need to make a change. What can I do? And I was sitting there in a dark room with my computer in my lap, and I remember again crying out, praying and asking God, please help me. What can be the solution? What can be my way out of this? Because there must be a solution, right? There must be a way out of this. It's impossible that all these women lost the weight, all these women seem to have a great life now, yet I am just struggling. So how can I get out of this? And then I had this thought of, what if I try to contact a couple of personal trainers, athletes, and fitness gurus and professionals online, write them a message asking them for their advice, asking them what's their best advice for someone who is desperate to lose weight but tried everything and nothing seems to work. So I wrote to as many athletes, fitness models, PTs, you name it, as I could. And well, to be very honest, only a few of them answered, but the few who answered had a couple of things in common. And what that was that they were all naturally born lean and skinny athletes. Ever since they were kids, they were doing sports. Ever since they knew themselves, they were just on some kind of healthy eating plan, and it was just natural for them to become trainers or athletes or coaches. So I was like, okay, they didn't really seem to understand what I was going through when it comes to motivation, when it comes to diets, or when it comes to anything like that. They just didn't seem to understand my struggles. So I was like, okay, so they are the so-called gurus out there who are supposed to be helping us, yet they cannot give me an answer. Like, that's weird. So seemingly that was the dead end, right? But then I had this idea of, what if I got in touch with one of my friends who's actually a medical professional, he's a doctor, and asked him about the same thing. Why am I struggling so bad? What is wrong with me? Why is my metabolism so slow? Why can't I lose weight? Why can I stay persistent? Is there something like a thyroid problem, like a hidden something that I should be aware of, perhaps? And very interestingly, he came back to me with something that shocked me. So he was the first person who started sharing with me some real eye-opening truths, such as why I was messing up my metabolism with all these crazy diets, cutting out carbs, cutting out all these calories. So I was like, wait a second, if someone who has actually studied science and medicine tells me that the stuff that I'm reading on Google, the stuff that I'm actually hearing from the diet industry, from the weight loss industry is really wrong, then something is not matching up here. And that's when I decided to go down the rabbit hole myself, started digging deep and not swallowing down everything that this industry is throwing at me. So I became almost like a guinea pig and I started documenting everything that I was trying. What worked, what didn't work, what I enjoyed, what I actually hated. Then I looked up the science side of the things, why things didn't work, the dead ends, everything. And slowly started to see patterns. It didn't take long to realize that the diet and weight loss industry was actually telling us lies. It was telling me lies. Lies, lies. They were just making up bullcraps to make more money. And you know what? The deeper I dug, the more I studied, the angrier I became. And it all made sense, like someone just switched on the light bulb, like, what? Because everything became clear why I was struggling so much before. Guys, listen, I wanted the answers so badly, I became obsessed with this. I would stay up late nights, I studied books, I literally became a bookworm. I researched everything that I could. I read thousands of web pages and publications, consulted with a lot of doctors, and eventually I decided to study more. So I became a certified personal trainer and nutritionist. And the more I studied, the more I was like, oh my god, what the heck? Literally 90% of the stuff that we are bombarded with is BS. Most of the products, the services that are out there are based on lies. And what I noticed is that the bigger the company, the bigger the lies. And it made me so mad because it wasn't just me who was struggling, but I personally knew another dozens of girls who were struggling too. They were going through the same things that I did because they were buying in the same lies, what the diet industry was telling us. And it kills me, it just kills me that the so-called gurus and fitness models or even hired actors, they're trying to tell you and sell you how to lose weight when they never even lost a pound. How is it even possible? They either don't understand us or they're misleading us to make more money out of our misery. Because the truth is, the more you struggle, the more you are willing to pay to get out of your struggles, to get a solution, right? Guys, the more I knew, the more the changes were visible on me. The more I studied and the more I understood what was going on. The more I felt like my metabolism was working for me and not against me. The more I implemented the truth, the more I lost the weight without the struggle. It was very interesting to see that after all those struggles with the food, with exercise, with the diets, with all that, finally I could see really quick and really good results, permanent results. That's the thing. I did the right thing and the weight was not coming back on me. So I knew that I was doing something okay. I knew that this is not the BS that I was buying in before. These are not just the things that I just hoped and wished that they would work, but actually I could see the results. And just to fast forward the story, because I know that we cannot stay here until tomorrow until I share with you every single detail, I lost almost 40 pounds and it never came back since. But most importantly, it wasn't just the weight that I lost, but now I had a lifestyle that I genuinely enjoyed, where I didn't need to deprive myself, I didn't need to restrict myself, where I didn't need to do stuff that I hated. And the more I changed, my husband changed with me as well, and he realized that, oh my gosh, like, I'm becoming a different person, like a brand new person who actually has the confidence. Finally, I was gaining my confidence back. He realized that, oh my gosh, like, okay, this girl started loving life again. This girl started loving herself again. This girl is actually fun again. So I built a lifestyle for myself that I felt like I don't need to quit from. And I truly enjoyed. I truly just felt like, yeah, this is for me. This is not a diet. Finally, I'm on a lifestyle. And then people ask me like, oh, so are you on a diet? So how did you lose the weight? Or what happened to you? Because they obviously noticed it. I just said, no, I don't diet. I don't do diets anymore. I just changed my lifestyle. And one of the best things was that it saved my marriage, because we were again so passionate about each other, and I saved my friendships, I saved the relationship with my family as well, because finally I was present in their lives again. Finally I was there to support them, to help them, and to just be, you know, there for them and be fun again, instead of just thinking about myself and going around with the vicious cycles of hating myself. So finally I was smashing my goals, and I had this fantastic life that I loved, and because I was so passionate about what I was going through, I started sharing it with people. So they wanted to go through these same changes, and I totally felt for these girls. I wanted to help these girls because I knew what they were going through. I knew their struggles, I felt for them, right? And honestly, I just felt like a brand new person. I still feel like a brand new person. I feel like $1,000,000 compared to where I was before. So I was like, heck yeah, I'm not a selfish person. I'm not gonna keep the truth for myself. I want others to go through the same thing and experience the same thing too. So I started getting these messages from friends and friends of friends asking for my secret sauce because they had seen on Facebook like how much weight I lost without diets, and they had been trying so many diets before but nothing worked for them. So the same thing, right? So I remember that there was this one particular girl who asked me for a specific plan. So she asked me like, oh, do you have a plan, like something put together, what you're doing or what could we do, like can you share with us the same meals, the same workouts that you're doing, the same way how you're staying motivated and happy, because she just wanted to see the same results, right? And I was like, well, I want to help you, and I promised her to help, but I was like, there is so much to tell you, girl, like I cannot just like write it down in a message. I couldn't back up because I promised my help, but I really didn't know, like, okay, so there is so much to tell you guys. So I asked myself, how can I share my secret sauce? How should I lay out what I went through externally and internally? Because honestly, genuinely, there was no platform or no program or service or anything that I could truly recommend. There was just no formula before that included all that I learned, that I tested, that I went through, and that I implemented in my life. Because to be honest with you, it was way more than just tips and tricks or diets or quick exercise. It was a two-dimensional transformation. Because yes, I worked on my healthy lifestyle, but I also worked on everything internally that made me become a happy and confident person. I basically worked as much on the inside as I worked on the outside. So I knew that I had to create something where I could help women who are walking in the same boots that I used to walk to end their struggles once and for all the healthy way. So I just felt so excited to share the real truth, the real secrets, the real secret sauce, because I knew that once the women know what I knew, they're gonna see the same results. I knew it, I just knew it instantly. I felt that if I shared the same secrets, what I went through, the same secret sauce, it would help women to get the same permanent results that I did. They would get the same happiness, the confidence, the self-love that I did. So I asked myself, what would I do if I was to start all over again from day zero? What advice would I want to have if I was to start all over again? How would I do it all over again? Looking back, I know that I struggled a lot, but in a way I'm so grateful for it, because this way I can relate to every single person, every single woman who is going through the same journey. And this is how the Lady Chan two-dimensional transformation was born. I pulled out the notes that I took while I was playing the guinea pig. I recalled the conversations with athletes and recalled conversations with the doctors, and laid down everything step by step based on science. In the last couple of years, I built and I perfected the system and the principles in my boot camps, in my personal clients, and in my online clients. And it seemed to produce the same amazing results. Didn't matter whether I worked together with people from the States or from Canada, from Australia, or from Europe. It worked the same way for every single woman. So I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I'm so glad to see that they are getting the same results. So I felt like I was finally cooking up the magic sauce, the secret sauce that is going to help thousands of women end their struggles with the diets, with the foods, and their struggles with exercise, and finally see the permanent results that they really want to. Of course, I went through this amazing transformation, and I changed my body, changed my life, and I live genuinely a life that I enjoy now. But what is more satisfying, and it makes me even more exciting than my own transformation, is to see these women, see these girls experiencing the same results too. That's just pumping me up. This is a privilege. Honestly, this is what makes me get up every single day. I see the marriages that are saved, and I see these mothers who are gaining this extra energy to play around with their kids and to serve their families even better. I see the girls gaining extra confidence and they make life-altering decisions. I see women everywhere around the world getting the best and the most out of their life. I see all kinds of stories from real women from all walks of life all getting the same amazing results. A funny story to share with you. The other day I got back home a little bit earlier than usual, and I sat down with a cup of tea, you know, just scrolling through social media, and I seen that there was my video, and right below my video there was a comment, a pretty mean comment, someone saying that, well, your transformation is not even real because you haven't lost enough weight, you haven't lost so many pounds, you only lost 38 pounds. How dare you say that your transformation is real? And it really hit me, to be very honest with you. It really hurt me and hit me, because I just felt like this girl doesn't get it. She doesn't get it that my transformation and the transformation that I'm helping women with, it's not necessarily about how many pounds or how much weight they have to lose physically. It didn't just change my body, but my life changed completely. It was an external and an internal transformation for me, and this is the same for other girls as well. It doesn't matter how many pounds I actually lost, and it doesn't matter how many pounds you need to lose. The most important bit is whether you are making that transformation that changes your entire life, that doesn't just change your body, but it changes your life and gets you to a place where you need to be physically, emotionally, and mentally. I didn't only lose the external weight, but I lost the weight that weighed down my personality. Yes, it did start on a weight loss journey, but it goes way beyond that. It affected my life, my family's life, my friends' life, eventually my clients' lives in multiple levels. And honestly, I'm just so proud of them, because at the end of the day, they all become inspirations and role models for everyone around them. I know, girls, I'm so sorry. I really need to wrap it up. I've been talking for so long, and I really appreciate your time, and I really appreciate that you have stayed here, you've watched this video, and you've listened to my story. If the only one thing that you're taking away from this video is that, yes, you can change your life and there is a way out from your struggle, then it was worth it, okay? So I want you to experience the same that my clients do. I want you to experience the same that I have gone through, that you can too live a life you love, in a body that you love, and you can end your struggles. You can end your struggles. Doesn't matter where you are now, even if you hate yourself at this very moment, you're not alone. The change is not only possible, but it's within your reach. So thanks for watching, thank you so much for listening, and genuinely appreciate your time, and I want you to know that I care about you, I care about your results, I care about your success, I care about your life, and I care about you ending your struggle with diets and food and your weight, okay? Best way I can help you right now is that I give you a free breakthrough call that's just happening within a couple of days. If you come and listen to those secrets that help me lose the weight, get the permanent results, and ditch the diets forever, you're going to see the same results, alright? So that's the best way I can help you right now, just to give you a free breakthrough call, which is happening in a couple of days. So please take advantage of that. Take advantage of that. I wish I had this opportunity at the beginning of my journey. If someone came right next to me, holding my hand, telling me the secrets, telling me what to do, what not to do, telling me the hard way is not working, telling me what's the easy way, I would have absolutely taken advantage of that. So here you are, having the opportunity to sign up for your breakthrough call. All you need to do is just to register and show up and take action, okay? I've laid everything out for you. There is a secret sauce. Yes, there is a magic sauce, and I'm gonna share it with you. But for now, I'm so excited that you've been here with me, and I can't wait to help you further along your journey. Bye!